The last provincial election in 2014, 51% of eligible Ontarians voted. In 2011, 48%. We're talking half of eligible voters bothering to go out and vote. We are 1 week away from our latest election, and all indications are we may not see any more than a 50% turnout. So what do we do about getting those who normally wouldn't bother with voting to get out and take part, be interested? That's part of the goal of our next guest, John Beebe, who's Ryerson University's Senior Advisor on Democratic Engagement. That's an interesting post to hold.
Yes, it's a wonderful creative position that they've created, part of the Democratic Engagement Exchange. And, you know, I think it's part of recognizing the value of engaging our communities and having the university play a role in that initiative.
Why aren't we voting?
We're not voting for a host of reasons. One of them is nobody's asking us to. The political parties ask the people they know are going to be their supporters to vote, but they're not going to be targeting people who haven't traditionally participated. And at the Exchange, we're trying to change that.
Okay, I'm going to play devil's advocate here. We have to be asked to vote, and I can hear people yelling at home right now. This is a privilege. This is something that not every nation on earth has. Why should we be asked to vote?
That's a great point. I mean, it is absolutely a privilege. But for people who haven't participated before, they don't feel like they're being listened to, they don't feel like the political parties are speaking to their issues, we need to engage them and ask them to participate and say, this is something that you can own. This is something that you can be meaningful to you and to your community.
It's highly unlikely that all the promises they are making right now are ever going to come to fruition. I mean, I honestly believe that you know, just take it all with a grain of salt. Could that, you know, is that something that needs to be dealt with? That maybe it's the political parties. You need to be more realistic. Stop buying our vote. Do you find a lot of that?
Yeah, sure. I mean, people feel like, oh, they're all crooks. They're all, you know, doing something wrong. And I think as voters, we have to take responsibility as well to say, you know, ask the tough questions and engage in meaningful ways. But I think we also have to say to people, you know, what is it that matters to you? And that's what we do with our initiative, is we go into communities and working with community-based organizations, and instead of telling people, oh, you should come vote, we start with the question, what matters to you, and then connects that to our political system, and so that they feel like they have a voice and that they have something to say.
All right. Folks, we bend over backwards to allow everybody to vote. Heck, I was looking at the elections website. They'll even come to your house to allow you to vote. The polling stations are convenient, they're accessible, advanced polling, et cetera, et cetera. So there is no excuse. So let's get people out there. If you're not happy about it, contact the local parties and say, this is why you make me disenfranchised. So, all right, you've got a tough task ahead of you.
Well, thank you very much. And I think it's important, you know, as you say, let's all bring our friends and our family out to vote.
All right. Let's check on our top story.